Alright, so here I am. I'm going to do number 2, solving through elimination, and we're going to see what happens whenever we solve this through elimination. Actually, you can solve any route you want, but I'm going to do elimination because I see that when I combine these two equations, my x variables are going to disappear or be eliminated, and 2y plus 2y equals 4y, and then 10 plus 3 equals 13. And so now I'm going to divide the left side by 4 and the right side by 4, and I'm left with y equals 13 over 4. So that's my y value. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to take this and put it in for y and solve for x. So my equation will look like this: x plus 2 parentheses equals 3, and in the parentheses I'm going to put in y's value, which is 13 over 4. And so now you got to review back to 6th grade when you're multiplying fractions. I set up this 2 to be 2 over 1, and I'm going to multiply numerators. So 2 times 13 is going to be 26. So I have x plus 26 over, and I multiply denominators. 1 times 4 is 4 equals 3. And I can simplify this by dividing the numerator and denominator by 2. So I'm left with x plus 13 over 2 equals 3. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 13 over 2 from both sides, minus 13 over 2. And so now this is also a review on 6th grade. So I've got a positive 3 over 1 minus 13 over 2. And so what I'm going to do is I'm kind of creating a little space over here on the right side. I'm going to set up equivalent fractions. So that's a positive, and this one's a negative. And so this is like what your 6th grade teacher would have shown you to do. You have to have a common denominator. So you say, what's a number that both 1 and 2 will go into? And the correct answer is 2. So my common denominator is 2. Then what you do is you say, well, what do I have to multiply 2 times in order to get 2? Well, the answer is 1. 2 times 1 equals 2. So I do the exact same thing to my numerator. 13 times 1 equals 13. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this equation. I got 1 times 2 gives me 2. Therefore, 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. So now I've got a positive 6 over 2 minus 13 over 2. Now you got to think back to 7th grade. 7th grade, you learn that if your signs are different and you're combining, that means you're going to subtract. So now keep in mind that my common denominator stays the same. It's going to stay common, so it stays a 2. So the numbers you're subtracting are the numerators. So I've got 13 minus 6 is going to be 7. And I have more negatives. There's 13 half negatives, so because I have more negatives, that means it's going to be a negative 7 over 2. So now let me come back over here to my equation I'm solving. I'm left with x equals a negative 7 over 2. So if I was going to write my answer in coordinate pair format, it would be my x value is negative 7 over 2, and my y value is 13 over 4.